The Rap Roundtable.
Sir, the Rap Roundtable returns with another installment, another rendition of the Lunch Hour, where we're doing things a little bit different with this episode because, of course, the boy himself, Aubrey, aka Drake, to his fans. We call him Aubrey. The rest of the world calls him Drake. You know how it goes. If you're familiar with the Rap Roundtable, you know when we start talking about Drake, his name is Aubrey. Unless Mason's talking about him, then of course, OVO himself, he puts that proper respect to his name. But nevertheless, it's your boy Jav here alongside the Rap Snob, alongside Dini the Balance, alongside the homie Mace. And of course, we need 300 to 350 likes on each and every one of these videos. Y'all been slacking on them likes.
Get them up.
Show love.
When y'all don't hit that like button, I told you, even if it's 1,000 views and 300 of y'all just hit the like button, we have done your job. So we got to get back to this conversation. Stop fronting on that like button. Because once you hit that like button and we get near 300 or even 350, we remain in the algorithm and the episode does what it needs to do. So hit that like button, run these numbers up. Of course, we got roundtablemerch.com. If you haven't done so already, get your merch. Roundtablemerch.com. It's right there. You see it.
That's the ease.
Roundtablemerch.com. Tap in. You know what I'm saying? Get yours. Shout out to Ease. I heard Sin just say that shit. Shout out to Ease real quick. As always.
Salute to Ease.
Ease the originator, yes. You know what I mean? He does this shit. He does it well. But nevertheless, let's get into this Drake, bro. So, as usual, we're one of the hip-hop heavyweights. Say what you will about Drake. He's a heavyweight. He might be the undisputed heavyweight champion. We just don't know. Because between Kendrick and Cole, it gets a little fuzzy at the top. But nevertheless, he drops 8 a.m. in Charlotte. The internet not only breaks, it stops. It stopped everything moving. For our little corner of hip-hop, our wing, what stood out to us was that drop at the beginning of the beat. Because, you know, if you closed your eyes and you got the song around 30 seconds to 45 seconds, you would have thought 40 did it again. Another 40 Drake link up. But in fact, this was a conductor production.
Yes.
And, you know, a few years ago, the Rap Roundtable, because people are like, oh, it's actually 7 years, it's actually 8 years. Well, the Rap Roundtable podcast, we weren't around 7 years ago. We were around 3 years ago. And 3 years ago, we said that Griselda is making it so that people who want to hear rap music have to spit bars again. Of course, Nas plays a role in that. But before Nas, as far as this particular space and the people who felt invigorated, Griselda was putting out music at a high clip. If it wasn't a classic, it was super hot fire. And around 2020, it started getting real difficult for the mumblers to make room. So when we hear 8 a.m. in Charlotte, we hear the conductor drop, and it's other aspects of the aesthetic that we'll talk about. But I want to let my brothers eat. So sit a Rap Snob.
Yes, sir.
8 a.m. in Charlotte. Is Drake a new member of Griselda? Like, what's going on?
You mean Drizelda?
Griselda. Nice.
I like that. Yes, sir.
I like that.
I'm not gonna go that far, you know what I mean? But I fucks with the joint as soon as I heard the beat. The beat was beautiful, man. Like it conductor drop or no conductor drop, like that beat was just like immaculate to me. Like simple, basic to the point. You got, you know, what sounds like a gospel sample. You got the sparse, you know, kick and snare. That snaring like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Little bass hitting the right notes. It just laid the perfect groundwork for, you know, Drake to do that thing that he does every time he has like a timestamp at a location. Again, I you know, we definitely, like Job said, want to give credit to the people that have made a lane for this, you know what I mean? Griselda, before them, Rock Marciano. But I also want to give a quick shout out before I get into the song, once again to Little Brother. You know what I mean? Because a few weeks ago, Little Brother dropped a joint with Conductor on the beat. You know what I mean? We all know the connection between Fonte and Drake. You know, Fonte basically the father of this style. You know what I mean? Drake has admitted to as much. So it's not even like, you know, just me or just several people saying it. You know what I mean? Drake has given Fonte the credit for, you know, a lot of the style that he grew up on. So I want to definitely give them a shout out in the space as well. You know what I mean? As for the song itself, this is, to me, this is one of the highlights of the year, honestly. And that's me saying it. I'm not a Drake fan in the least. But I mean, I've had this song on repeat several times. Like, it finally dropped naturally on DSPs today with the album. But you know, I have my ways. Like, I go on the internet, I'll rip the audio from somewhere.
Wizard.
I've been,
Technician.
You know what I mean, I've been, I definitely, because the only version of it that existed was the video with his son, talking at the front. So I cut that out like I did the Yachty verse on the cold shit. And so, but I had that shit on repeat all day yesterday, man. That the track is beautiful to me. Drake does what he does on these timestamp songs. It's his slick talk. It's his moment to like really poke his chest out, get on his rapping shit. I'm not gonna say that bar wise it's on par with some of the past timestamp joints, because the flow was there, the pocket was there, the delivery was there. The bars themselves, though, a little lazy. So there was a couple of clunkers in there. Some about getting under your skin like an orange peel. There was another one that had my head scratching. I can't remember it right now, but yeah, all in all, like the song itself, tough. I fucks with it, even though there was a couple of clunker bars in there. Yeah, I fucks with it.
All right, Mesito, talk to me, bro. It's your time, B. 8 a.m. in Charlotte, nigga.
Hey man, 8 a.m. in Charlotte. I sent it to the group chat about 8:05 a.m. You heard?
Talk about it.
Just like you said, y'all, kind of like this joint dropped and the internet stopped, bro. You know what I mean? And listen, that's real impact, right? Because the joint dropped, and just like Sin said, great song, one of the best songs of the year. You know what I mean? When it comes to Drake in this part of his career, I'll say, what you said about, the controversial thing Job said about Freddie Gibbs when we had Adria on, kind of rings for Drake's current status, right? Not a lyricist, but he got bars. You know what I'm saying? So, just like you say, there's some clunkers in there. You know what I'm saying? It's some post-prime Fabulous level bars in there. You know what I'm saying? But
now I remember. He said, "Was bragging like the verse." No,
parenthesis.
When he said "was bragging like the verse got parentheses on it," like,
yeah.
what does that mean? That's such a weird, but go ahead,
definitely like, after Soul Take Fab type bars on there, you know what I mean? Which is hilarious because Drake once made a joke about not wanting to get to Fabulous type bars in his career, you know what I mean? But still, great song, just like you say. Shouts to Conductor. I know, a million people wanted to be, hey, Conductor produced before Griselda, guys. Like, we have the internet too, guys. We know, we can look up the discography too, my guys. We know.
That's not what we're talking about here.
Right.
It's not what we're talking about, because 90% of the motherfuckers, if you search Conductor Williams on Twitter and see after the Griselda, look at the hits before Griselda, look at the hits after Griselda. You know what I mean?
Before I even knew he was a thing, I think I used to listen to the Cooking Soul beats and Conductor beats, just like lo-fi shit, before there was even like bars on it. You know what I mean? We know. You know what I'm saying?
We know, guys. Like,
we like the same credit. Shit. We like them beats.
Shit was fire. Fire's fire.
We not. You know what I mean? Oh, they actually might. But
yeah. You don't even gotta say nothing anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. Job on topic. But it's a good look for Conductor. Post Rome, post Griselda, like Drake. You know what I'm saying? Gets you. It's not the first single, but it's the single that he wanted to heat shit up with. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what he wanted. The album was dropping. He dropped it. You know what I mean? It was a good look for Conductor, a good look for Griselda, a good look for just the sound. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Drake come on your shit, like, you got the Migos era, you got the Block Boy JB era. That's probably where shit is going if Drake is on your shit. So just like you say, great joint. Just like you say, I'm not gonna say he wasn't taking in blood on there, you know what I'm saying? But he got old, you feel me?
Talk about
got old. You know, so and just like you said, Joe, like the internet was set ablaze, you know, and you know that the impact someone has when, you know, because I seen the Rome tweets, I seen West Side tweet, and everybody wanted to take like credit for like you for it. You know what I'm saying? Like you see,
we gonna get into
everybody.
it. We gonna get into it. Trust me.
We gonna get into it. We gonna get into it. So it was interesting just seeing, you know when Drake does good, but when people start saying, oh, somebody must have ghost wrote this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when you know this shit is fire. You know what I mean? So 8 a.m. in Charlotte, you know, Job, I'm gonna let you. Oh, matter of fact, Dean might want to. OVO Dean might want to.
I'm waiting on you to get your shots off so we can get it over.
Listen, you know, it's OVO time. I gotta do it, man. But 8 a.m. in Charlotte, great joint to set it off. You know what I mean? Had the internet going crazy. If the album didn't drop, the talk would still be about the 8 a.m. in Charlotte. You know what I mean? But that's how I was feeling about this joint.
Deanie.
My brother said great points, man. We all know Drake has his moments. You get what I'm saying as far as sounds. So we've heard Migos Drake, we've heard Down South Drake, we've heard Southern Drake, we've heard Caribbean Drake. You know what I'm saying? We heard every Drake there is to hear. Maybe it was time for us to hear a Griselda Drake sounded. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we needed that collaboration. There's definitely ties there. To me, I heard this beat. I heard this would have been a perfect West Side Gun beat. I feel like West Side Gun could have did something optimal with this, but it landed in the hands of Drake, who actually lived up to the performance. Because we shout out to Sin. He just said that series is highly acclaimed. It's not too many series that get held up at the range. You know, I'll put the Maybach series up there as far as like there's 2, 3, 4, 5 records in that same. Exceptional.
The Heart series.
The Heart series. Shout out to Kendrick.
Dean did not want to say that.
The Heart 5 is a classic, bro. The Heart 5 is an absolute classic. Got to give props where it's due. But I feel like this was bound to happen. And we all know when Drake gets into that bag, the pen game does get official. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to exclude the clunkers for this record because this is probably the nicest I've heard Drake in a really long time. I'm going to give credit on the clunkers because the overall majority of this shit was pretty exceptional, bro. Like the beat, caught the beat perfectly. Nice low vibe. You know what I'm saying? This is the Drake you actually want to listen to. This was the Drake. I really want like 7 tracks of this from Drake. And I think that would be on par with an album that's worth like true discussion from the likes of the game. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, I will accept this. This is a beautiful offering. Shout out to Conductor. I want to ask certain people in Griselda, like, yo, did y'all not hear this beat before Drake got it? Was this passed on or was this just held in the tuck? I want to know. But other than that, I don't have much to say specifically on this track. I feel like you covered it. It's dope. Sin, I've been spinning it back to back too. I've been ignoring the clunkers. I have.
Sometimes you gotta ignore the clunkers, man.
I am.
The rest of the package, pause.
Pause.
You know what I mean? Is it's pretty good.
It works. The track works. Jobby.
The first thing I want to say about the beat, I'm not even sure. Like, this up there as far as Conductor beats.
Yeah.
But I guess I would need the liner notes or some more info. But it wouldn't surprise me if this is not just Conductor. Like maybe 40 had a hand in this because the sonics of it all, it doesn't sound straight Conductor. Unless Conductor's decided to step in, maybe he has, because we can never limit producers. Maybe he has the ability to get into that world and start. Yes, sincere.
No, I'm just saying.
Hand raised.
There's a theory. I mean, I can't be sure, but it might be like a custom sample that was created because I know Drake did that for Primo back on. Sarah's Rose, I think the song was, where, you know what I mean? Like they created a custom sample for Primo to flip and give it his style and his bounds and his knot.
There you go.
Know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if they might have done the same thing with Conductor.
Because I don't think, just based on Conductor's body of work, I don't think he just has this laying around. Because if it was, fucking Rome, the amount of Conductor beats Rome has rapped on himself recently over the last, year and like 15 months, you could say total. He's been on so many Conductor beats, and then you got Westside. Westside puts out 1 or 2 projects a year. They would have got on this beat. I think this was a custom. Just like to Sin's point, He built it specifically for Drake, and if not, it wouldn't surprise me if 40 added a little bit of at the end of it to bring it all together, because that's what they do sometimes. They'll have a producer come in, and then 40 will add when he adds his own little twist on it to bring it all together. But the
mixing was also definitely elevated.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Oh yeah, it's Drake.
Sonics were there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
With the rapping, like I'm not mad at the clunkers that much. Like as a person who loves rap, when you hear it the first time around, it's like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like if Drake wasn't Drake and he was just in a cipher with those bars, he would have to pass. Yeah, I mean, you have to give it to the next nigga. Let him start rhyming. But it's like once you start listening to it more and more with the entire encompassing, it's like, oh, this is tough. And then forget the bars. I mean, the bars, yeah, but forget that. I want to know who he's talking about, because apparently he's talking about Young Boy. Right. Then the joint when he got the flash drive in the safe, and somebody's copy, please. Who you talking about? Who's on the flash drive, Drake?
You know what I'm saying? So, is it Pharrell? I thought he might have been throwing shots at Pharrell again, because Pharrell he said something about, I got you the footage of you bowing down. Pharrell does that all the time, so I was like,
But if he does that all the time, that's not salacious enough to have it on a flash drive, because the way it sounded, it sounded like he was copping please, like the Dogs them. OVO team had somebody pinned up and they copied it.
Footwork. You know,
that's
hands
how I
and
took
footwork.
It. Right, that's how I took it. So it's like, I need to know who's on that video. He did his thing. For me, like at some point we gotta have a conversation. Somebody tweeted it, but I think the Rap Roundtable needs to have a conversation about the Heart series or the Timestamp series. That I mean, shout out Maybach and all that. But as far as the two main contemporaries in that particular weight class goes, Kendrick and Drake, you know what I'm saying? I think that we need to break down, we need to parse these series and really talk about it. So we're gonna timestamp this so we can come back to it at a later date. Sure. If it comes to bars, bro, this is what we want from Drake. We want him to rap, because we know you're gonna sing. We understand. We can get into his album in a second. We understand why you do what you do. I have an even better affinity and understanding coming out of this album. You know what I'm saying? But when you rap, it's like, bro, you can do this. Like, you're a rapper. At your core, you're a rapper. Like, this is the Drake that when I'm being dead serious and not trying to piss him off, I say, yo, Kendrick might not want to get in a ring with this guy because he's really good. To me, when Drake rap like this, I feel the same way I felt about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. One guy looks like he's supposed to beat the other guy's ass, but when you really parse it, Errol Spence could never fuck with Terrence Crawford. And that's how I feel about Drake and Kendrick. Like, I think if Drake really raps, he's going to beat Kendrick. But it's like, but then you do other things and it's like, you make me look at Kendrick, like Kendrick's gonna bust that ass. But we gotta see it. You know what I'm saying? And when he rhyme like this, it makes me want to see it. Before we get into the album, folks are getting caught up on the conductor beat, right? Like, oh, Drake been doing this.
We gotta talk about it.
Have you not listened to Drake since 2007 or 2008? Bro, let's be clear for the people who are not initiated, because you know what? I used to be this way until Sincere brought me back home. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to rap at a certain tier, you don't realize all the other universes that's taking place, right? Westside has been calling out Drake since the middle of last year about some of the shit Drake has been doing. He's been biting the aesthetic piece by piece with little things. And it's kind of like when we talk about certain shit and you say, oh, Jarv, you're being paranoid. But it's like, oh, it's only if you know, because you in that realm and you see it. Drake has a way where he's speaking to certain people so specifically that it'll go over millions of people's heads and only the person he's speaking to will catch it. Westside's been talking about it the whole time, bro. And then you see the visual, right? What we talking about? The conductor beat, the visual, it's real subtle. Now, if niggas start hopping on conductor beats, who gets that credit? Griselda? Nah, the general public is gonna get after Drake. It's a nasty game. It's like May said it earlier. The Block Boy shit, the Migo shit, he'll get that credit. But Sin, you see the cosplaying going on. What you gotta say about that?
Nothing more than what I've said in the past. You know what I mean? Like, the thing that always gets under my skin about Drake is that, like, everything that he does to me reeks of mimicry. You know what I mean? And then, like, when you look at the visual and you look at the pins in his hair and, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Pusha was, you know, talking about your hair doesn't nap enough, and now all of a sudden, like, he's doing all this crazy shit with his hair, like, you know what I mean? But it's like, I don't want to get too deep into it, but it just, at the end of the day, it just feels like I'm gonna just say it. It feels like it's. You know what I mean? It just feels like mimicry to me. That's what it always feels like that, and I can't ever get past it. So I always take like however good his music is, however good his bars are, I always take it with a grain of salt because like there's always that feeling of like, yeah, but you're just mimicking the style, bro. Like it's not really. That's my take on it.
Fair enough. Dini, you're a reasonable guy. You see what's happening there. you see the aesthetic. Do you think it's mimicry? Or do you think it's flattery?
I think Drake is a blockbuster movie. I think like if you watch movies today, there's no action movies, there's no love movies, there's no comedies. There's literally an action scene in every comedy. There's a love story in every action movie, bro. Like Drake is the essential trying to squeeze all those scenes into one movie, bro. Like, and it's made him a superstar. We can dog him for it if we want, but I mean, have we had an icon like this in music in a long time? Like, who's it been? Like, who predecessors Drake, bro? Like,
I don't know. Kanye,
top level.
When it first started, the direct lineage was Hov, but Drake's something else.
It's past that. It's as far as just notoriety. You get what I'm saying? Everyone knows Hov is just like the man, but Drake is something else right now, bro. Like you just got to give props where it's due. I think that's his shtick. His shtick is to be everything. You know.
Okay. Mace, final words on the aesthetic.
My boy's standing on his DMX, man. I don't like his face. I don't like the way he talk. I don't like the way he walk. I don't like nothing.
Yo, nah, real shit. When I first saw that clip, the way I felt one with that clip of DMX, I was like, I felt like Charlemagne. Not that I fucked with Charlemagne, but I felt like Charlemagne in that clip. Like that's my dog right there.
That's my guy.
All right.
And as far as the aesthetic, yeah, but it's like I think Drake just brings so much notoriety that it's like it can almost feel like everybody thinks this guy did it and nobody. Because at the end of the day, you know, Kanye, as soon as Griselda, Kanye got in on it, you know what I'm saying? You know, Wayne tried to get on it, Ross tried to get on it. Like the mainstream niggas is trying to associate themselves with him. You know what I mean? Now, with Drake, you know, Drake has this weird thing where if you notice, Drake doesn't have any clear associations to the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? So I think he kind of plays us sideways sometimes, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, I think it's just, you know, Griselda, they some fly niggas. It's a lot of niggas biting the aesthetic. A lot of niggas biting this shit. You know what I'm saying? Drake is just Drake. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, come on, they the coolest niggas in the game. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest. Drake played New York sideways because I'm pretty sure New York fronted when he was trying to get on. You know what I'm saying? Look at that story Capo told. Like, you don't think Capo's probably one of many? So look at this cornball. We don't want to give him a deal.
Yeah.
And now look,
niggas is doing that today though. Just so you know, it was bad back then, bro.
Right.
But let's get to this album. For all the dogs, Macito, coming right back to you. Set the tone with this project. Give us your takeaways, your high points, your lows, if any. Let's break it down.
Yeah, let's break it down. Now listen, guys. Y'all know this is the first instant reaction. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give us all a caveat of
Dick say he had release
on a long ass album, bro. This album is long as hell, bro. Like that's the thing about Drake is you can tell like every other artist releases their deluxe for extra sales. Drake just throws the whole shit out. You know what I mean? He's like, I don't need the deluxe. Just take these 30 songs. I'll be back next year. You know what I mean? So it was a long listen. You know what I mean? First thoughts is disjointed album. I like the production, right? The album is kind of all over the place. You know, it didn't hit me. You know, I know that everyone feels a certain way about CLB, about Her Loss, but I feel like on an instant listen, those albums, the direction was clear. You know, the production choices were clear. One thing about For All the Dogs is that I feel like this is more in the More Life lane. You know, when he dropped the joint that said, I want it to be a playlist. You know what I mean? Now it's some Drake has a lot of audiences to please. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like when 8 a.m. in Charlotte dropped, you had all of the, all of the old heads said, we need 15 of these. You're not gonna get 15 of these, bro. Like that's just not going, it's not gonna work, bro.
Quiet.
Like, you know what I mean? That's the last
Super quiet.
demographic that listens to him. He's not gonna please you the most, you know what I'm saying? But Drake is the type of artist where you kind of gotta, realize he gonna be coming all over the place. Pause.
Hey, yo.
Hey.
Right?
Yo.
Yeesh.
If this was alive, I might be muted for the rest of the episode about
Flag
that.
on
Yo.
the play.
Maybe a little bit of the next too.
You know what I mean? They might
Brutal.
kick me off this show for that one.
Turn his camera off.
Adrian, where you at?
Oh my god.
Ludicrous.
you know. But
Cook Mace.
listen, man.
I mean, he's
that
cooked
one.
now. You know what I mean?
but that's the first thought I had on the album. You know what I mean? Obviously, Drake is a high level artist. You got plenty of strong tracks on there. Everyone, the hip hop heads is going to speak on the J. Cole shit off rip. You know what I'm saying? There's joints with Yeet on here. I don't know if you know Yeet is the youngin'. He's like the next after the Playboy Cardi vibes. He inexplicably has Sexy Red on here. I guess they on tour, they doing their thing. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I'll say is, and one thing I always say is that the features kind of show how artists were feeling during the thing. And I'm gonna be honest, other than Cole, who's killing shit everywhere these days, I don't feel like the features quite lived up to what I would hope they would live up to. You know what I mean? SZA and Drake is supposed to give us an R&B classic. I know niggas hate singing Drake, but Drake done gave us more R&B classics than Usher and Chris Brown combined in the last 10 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? So Drake, that's his wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. The features were a little bit iffy to me. The sequencing was a little bit iffy to me. Strong production on here. You know what I mean? Drake fans, you gonna get those Take Care vibes. You gonna get those So Far Gone vibes. Strong production. Shouts to A&R Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? I guess he got hurt practicing and he had some time to help out Drake. You know what I mean? But that on the first thought, that's what I was like. I was like, this song needs to be here. This song needs to be there. There's some strong joints on here. You know what I mean? Shouts to Dean the Man. You know what I'm saying? But first listen, I was like, Drake makes these albums that you feel like you have to personally make it yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. And not even that, just I'm gonna make this playlist here, I'm gonna drop this song here, I'm gonna put this here. You know what I mean? Drake often makes albums like that, especially in the latter portion of his career. Because you mentioned about the lack of innovation he's had, and even the biggest Drake fan will be like, yeah, I could definitely see that, but that's more the second half of his career. Take Care days, Nothing Was the Same days, he was kind of dictating where shit was going. You know what I mean? But ever since kind of Scorpion, or really Views, where he realized that put these big singles on here, you know what I mean, put a bunch of sounds, he's kind of changed the way, which has coincided with the streaming era. He's kind of changed the way he's made albums. So it's like, I'm a big Drake fan, so obviously I'm gonna grade it knowing how I feel Drake wants you to listen to it. But on the first listen, I thought to myself, Drake fans are gonna love this, and everybody else is gonna be like, "What is this shit?" You know what I'm saying? That's the first thought I had on the album. You know what I mean?
So I usually go last, but I'm gonna go second on this one.
Good.
Because as this album is fresh out of the oven, you know what I mean? You made that last point, Mace. You stuck the landing. You go on X, Twitter right now. There's a clear divide. I hate to do it, but we got to do it because it's actually what's going on. By the age demos, a lot of the older guard on X right now destroying this album. They're calling it trash. What is this shit? Disappointed. Trashing caps, etc. You go to the rap blogs that end up on your timeline, even though nobody follows them. but they always end up on your shit. You know what I'm talking about. And you go through their mentions and you see the younger demographic. They love the album. This happens with every Drake album. Young people, girls love it. Older guard, women included, not so much. It's just the reality of the situation. I you know what? To me, this is a decent follow-up from her loss. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a little bloated. Like 23 tracks. I think it's 25, is it? 23 tracks, an hour and 25 minutes. It's a long, by 2023 standards, this is a long album. This shit, the amount of 4-minute tracks that was on this shit, this felt like an album that came out 20 years ago. Like what's going on? 10 years ago, even.
Facts.
But Kendrick's double album was 18 tracks.
And that it's funny that you mentioned that, Sam, because I got the vibe that this was a double album hiding in plain sight. Because around track, the cops must agree. I think around track 10 or 11, the vibe of the project completely flipped. I think Bahama Promises is when the vibe flipped for like 3 or 4 records consecutively, where he kind of got into his singing bag. But before that, if he stops at Slime You Out, this is almost the album that Didi asked for. As far as, let me get some bars, let me get some sonics. He was doing this thing on there. You know what I mean? For me, like overall, as a person who goes into Drake albums with a little trepidation because you just don't know what you're gonna get, or you know, but are you gonna hate it? You know what I'm saying? Because like for me, like I waited on Views for years. Everybody's waiting on Views, and I was disappointed. But the Drake fan tell me Views is his classic project. I'll be like, nah. If you read this is too late, then you'll see our taste in Drake. Pause is 2 different kind of vibes. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the only real gripes I have with the album for me, because I don't want to take away from my brother's points, it's a lot of needless for me beat switches on this project. A lot of it. Like Drake has leaned into the beat switch bag profusely. But when it works, it works. Like the joint with 21, man, listen. If it's Drake and 21 on the track, I'm on every one of those tracks now.
Sign you up?
Sign me up, bro. Because they get it right every time. Drake understands 21's aesthetic and how to place him on a track better than 21's A&Rs. I don't know how they do it, but it just works. The beat switches, or even when the beat don't switch, when 21 come on, he changes the mood, he changes the energy. Again, all you old niggas who's not listening to 21 because he's not giving you the most multi-syllabic bars of your life, that's not what he's here for. And if you listen to what he's talking about, that man is awesome. He does what he does, bro. Y'all need to fuck with 21. I'm really telling you, if y'all not fucking with 21 now, don't show up 5 years from now saying you've been on it. You're lying. Like 21 is has a fan in me. That nigga does what he's supposed to do. The joint with J. Cole, you know what?
Don't do it, John.
No. The beginning of the record, before the beat switch, I'm like, yeah, they cooking. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then when the beat switched and Drake said, I'm about to get on my bully, I'm like, oh no. But it felt like LeBron in the Western Conference when he went for that behind the back in game 2, and he lost. He couldn't get up high enough. I'm like, what is this, Drake? Like, I thought Drake was gonna violate. He said he was, and he just didn't deliver, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
But to even do it, tough. I'm not listening to the Drink with Yeet. Not interested. Slime You Out, never was interested. But before I get off of this, I'm gonna break some new ground here. I'm sorry. 2 things I gotta say. The joint with Sexy Red, Rich Baby Daddy, y'all prepare to get sick of that record. I'm telling y'all that right now. That's the one. That's the record right there. That's gonna make y'all sick. Y'all gonna be like, turn this shit off, because it's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be on the IG stories, the TikTok. It's gonna be IG.
Every party.
That's the record. The Chief Keef joint, surprisingly useful way of doing so. The joint with Bad Bunny, he's playing the market game. This is a tour album, y'all. Last but not least, he got a better verse out of Lil Yachty than J. Cole did, because Lil Yachty saved his fucking name.
That shit is terrible too.
Talk to me, bro.
Who? You said?
Dini. Because we know how you come in. Pause. So we go.
Right.
You don't know. You don't know.
I'm a little conflicted. You know, we're used to old fashioned. I'll give it to you. I'll describe it to the game. We're used to old fashioned plates. You know what I'm saying? You come to the crib, you know, you got your plate. Mom put the chicken on the joint. Plate. You know,
you know what I'm talking about?
I know you talking about, but we gonna keep it like this. The chicken you had your veggies and you had like some rice or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You knew exactly what you were gonna get.
Cornbread with the mac and cheese.
Simple daily plate. Daily plate.
Oh, not the low
daily
vibrational plate. Got you.
Nightly plate. Then you have like your Thanksgiving where you got everything on the table and you get to really pluck what you want out of the big containers. You know what I'm saying? You want the mashed here, you want the corn, you take everything you want. That's basically what Drake's doing now. There's no more plates, bro. It's literally just a big ass buffet. You choose what you want. The era of playlists done ruined the body of work. We're used to getting this shit one sale, one go. This shit is fire as a unit to the free world. It's fire. Music ain't like that no more, bro. It's literally just you pick the drinks you want out of it and don't listen to whatever you don't want to listen to, which is what it is now. You know what I'm saying? I listened to this album, bro, and you remember when in The Dark Knight they asked Joker like how much you want to take out Batman, and the nigga said half. That's how I felt listening to this album, bro. I liked half of it. Half is ass and half is good. And when I say ass, I don't mean ass in the perspective of purely just ass, because I'm listening to some of these songs, I'm like, this is ass. But I can see a lot of people liking this record. You have to sometimes take yourself out of it as far as the individual. I listen to a lot of shit, like not my cup of tea. Specifically what Job said, that Sexy Red shit, which I actually do like, because I'm listening to it in in a location, if you get what I'm saying. I'm listening to the record like, I'm not gonna be listening to this in the crib, but where this record I will be when this record is played, shit will get lively. You know what I'm saying? I'm focused on that.
It's kind of like that Too Sexy record with Future from a couple albums ago, where when that come on in the spot, you might not like it in your ears on the train, but if you in the spot and that come on and the vibe is right and you got a few drinks in you, it's gonna go crazy.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, because wasn't he in the video like an everyman? He played like 30 niggas from different movies in the joint. Goes right back to my point of he's the everyman, bro. So that's kind of his position. First off, I want to say Virginia Beach being a lovey-dovey joint was a really extremely wasted opportunity, bro. That was supposed to be some Pusha smoke. We thought we were gonna get it. We didn't get it.
But then we got track 4.
But we got track 4. As I proceed. Amen. I'm not really, didn't really care for it. Calling for You with 21, here for it, bro. Fair Heights, thought it was kind of dope. Can't lie. Fair Heights is dope. Daylight, thought was dope. First Person Shooter, one of the two songs where I felt like we really could have just ended it after like the first half of the song.
There you go.
Second song would be the Yachty song. We really didn't need Yachty again. The same way we didn't need him for the cold joint, we didn't need him for this joint either. The shit with Yeet, didn't care. Santa, didn't care. Slime You Out, I actually like Slime You Out. The record has grown on me. Bahama Promises
within the album, it does.
Within the album, it works, bro. Tried Our Best. I think I dug Tried Our Best. Screw the World. Yeah. Draw Picasso. Yeah. Parties. Members Only with Party Next Door. Fire. I thought that was dope. What Will Pluto Do? Should have had Future on that, and it should have been a better record, bro. Like, so many missed opportunities on this album. All the Parties with Chief Keef works for me, bro. ADM in Charlotte, beautiful joint. BBL, Miss Me. The joint with Bad Bunny, I see it, I get it, but miss me. Rich Baby with SZA.
When that beat, even though it's a beat switch with Bad Bunny, when he come on, the record
I know
else, bro.
It do. And like I said,
Bad
on location,
Bunny, the record killer.
On location, that shit could work. On location, even when the Drake part come on, if you in Fordham Road, you in the Heights, and that shit come on, they gonna go crazy. It's gonna be pure Sylvesters everywhere, bro. We gonna keep it a bit. Sin, talk to me
next week.
Sin, talk to me.
They gonna give Drake the fucking treatment that Sin gave Yachty when I go to the barbershop. They just gonna play Bad Bunny's part, bro.
Just Bad. It's gonna be a mix.
Facts.
Away From Home grew on me. I liked Away From Home. I thought that was his introspective. You know, he always gets the introspective joint. That's his one of two introspective joints on the joint. Polar Opposites didn't really care for. But other than that, like I said, half. So to me, I have to keep it a buck. It's a mid album because I only like half the joints.
Say the rap snob. Bring us home.
Listen, I'm pretty much locked step with Dini right now. Basically, his whole breakdown track by track is pretty on par with what I'm looking at right now. Because again, you know, morning of shit drops 6 a.m. It's an hour and a half fucking long album. So I didn't even have a chance. Usually, what I do, I'll take you behind the curtains a little bit. Usually what I do for these reactions and quick reviews is I spin it the first time to see how I feel about it overall. And then the second time is when I listen to song by song, break everything down write down notes or whatever, give my thoughts. I ain't have time for all that. So all I got is emoji. Red emoji if I green emoji.
I respect it.
If I fuck with the song, I got a little girl emoji for the girly songs. Like that's my whole breakdown in my notes right now. This emoji. You gotta see this shit. It looks hilarious.
Talk to us, Sid. Talk to us.
There's 3 joints that got the fire emoji. So I'm gonna start there because I want to start off on the positive note. Right. Obviously we already talked about 8 a.m. in Charlotte. Fire emoji.
Yes, sir.
The second one y'all could probably guess. The joint with Cole.
Of course.
That shit goes. Fire emoji. And let's be real, Cole got it.
Yes.
And then the third one, Away from Home. Away from Home.
Salute.
That shit is fire. There's other, joints that I was fucking with, not to that level. Let's see. I kind of liked Amen. Tizo Touchdown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know too much about it, but I know he's buzzing crazy on the internet. Yeah. Let me see. I like Daylight, Bahama Promises. Where's the joint that I know I really like? Members Only with Party Next Door. Fucks with that.
Fire.
Boy. What would Pluto do? I know Deanie, was missing the future presence on that. I still like the joint. What else? Oh, this this is gonna shock y'all. Rich Baby Daddy.
It works,
goes, bro.
It works, bro.
That's the record, bro.
Take yourself out of the situation. Listen in the spot.
Energy,
it goes.
Like got that sort of like DC bounce flavor. You know what I mean?
The hook gonna get the joint
proper
screaming.
Sexy red usage. Like she's
yes,
positioned right where she needed to be on that.
You know what I mean? So
not in that opposite
just to let just so y'all can see out there that I'm a fair individual. I'm not a Drake fan. I'm even less Sexy Red fan. We've already heard, my slander on. But that record, that's a record right there. That shit works. That shit goes. Yeah, but I'm pretty much with Deanie. You know what I mean? Half and half. It just so happens that like the two halves are just like scattered all over the place. It's not like I can't point to like, yo, this like 3 or 4 song run here or this chunk of the album there. It's just it just keeps you
all
bouncing from one place to another. So it's a little jarring in that sense. So I couldn't get into a groove anywhere on the album, but like Deanie said, like we've all said, Drake at this point is the ultimate algorithm rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's the algorithm art. He is one with the algorithm.
He is the algorithm.
He is the algorithm.
Sets the tone.
And then he's plugged into and I mean at a certain level is genius. I personally don't like it because I'm old. You know what I mean? But to the young heads, to the the 22-year-olds who are emotionally stunted in these toxic relationships that he keeps rapping about at 36. But I digress. This is what they want. You know what I mean? They want something to like Deanie said. You have a big buffet. You pick exactly what you want. You make your little, throw them in your playlist or whatever. And the thing that he does is that he targets so many different pockets of audiences, of listeners. You know what I mean? And he targets each one, like laser pointed targets at each one. The 8 a.m. in Charlotte targeted at us.
The hip hop heads, yeah.
And he knows that he's gonna drop that first because he knows we're gonna be the first ones to be like, oh shit, he might actually be rapping on this album, and we're gonna go rush it. Everybody else was already gonna go rush it. We're the only ones that's like, we're not really gonna listen to it. Then we hear that song and we're like, he ropes us in.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
The conductor drop at the top. Oh, yeah, I like Zelda right here.
Shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He got the joint with Sexy Ray. He got the joint with Yee. He got the joint with Tizo Touchdown. He's mastered this where he picks out all of the buzzworthy up and coming rising artists that are, buzzing on the internet. He'll throw them on features. If they continue to, in their ascent, he'll continue collabing with them. If they don't, he just throws them off to the side. You know what I mean? Just like never collabs with them again.
Got the Drake feature to show that I still can keep up with the nice niggas. It's a lot of blends in there, bro.
Right,
a lot of
what I
blends.
mean? Shouts to I Love Makona. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, that's still my favorite Drake feature, bro. I remember partying during that time when that verse.
It's a different energy,
bro.
Different.
I literally feel room shake when swag going. The room was shake, bro. Like,
it's
that's
different.
my favorite Drake feature, bro.
So just to put a cherry on this, I fucks with a scattered smattering of the songs on this album. I might, pluck some of these and actually make my own little 7-track joint that I might actually fuck with. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I think the difference between how we or our ilk, our demographic views Drake versus in the past with artists like Big, Pac, who also did the same thing, Kanye, Jay-Z, you know what I mean? They also were like, before there was internet algorithms, it was like, I need a joint for the club, I need a joint for the street, I need a joint for the hustlers, I need a joint for that's introspective. You know what I mean? It was still the same thing, but
I need Too Short for the West, I need Scarface for the
all
South.
that.
Like,
but
now you need 30
was,
niggas for everything.
But the game was still the game. It was still kind of ours. You know what I mean? It wasn't as widespread. The demographics weren't as scattered as they are now. So like to certain listeners, those albums, they will listen to those albums and be like, "Nah, I don't fuck with it because it's trying to be too many things to too many people." But for us, it was like, but all of that is us. You know what I mean? All those audiences are still us. And with this album and a lot of Drake's albums, is we don't see that anymore. We don't feel that anymore because a lot of these audiences are not us. So it feels way more scattered than any of the albums that we
I gotta call a timeout. I disagree with you, Sim. I think that it is us. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is for us of the older guard, specifically you, us done expanded and multiplied.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
So it's like the internet era has made it such that it's just not ours. It's not this thing of ours anymore.
Right.
I forgot the word you used to use. Was it homogenized? I think we're viewing that with this album. Like this is the ultimate homogenization of rap. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because everything you said is 100% accurate. He did make this album for niggas to pull. The guy gave us 23 songs. Like this is insane. And when you listen to it, it's 23 songs. And if y'all go on the socials and y'all say what y'all say, and this is hip hop and what represents this, whatever the case may be, the first thing you got to do when you listen to a Drake album is you got to ask yourself, is this for me individually?
Right.
And if you of a certain ilk, the answer is obviously no. Drake is talking to the ladies. He knows his base, whereas younger Drake might have tried to reach everyone. He knows that maybe if there's a pie chart, maybe 65% of his fans are girls. So he's making music for them. The man got a picture on Instagram with colorful bras from all of his tour stops. The shit in his hair, the nail polish. Some people question his sexuality, but he's becoming a situation where, the girls like me. I go to these shows and the age demographic ranges from 18 all the way to 40, and they're women. I'm talking to them. And the next thing, Sin, I want to throw back to you, Pause, is I agree with what your sentiment. Because when I listen to this album, to me, Drake is like the kickback god. Like when I listen to this album, I think it's specifically meant not to this is not an insult, but this is supposed to be mood music for the younger demographic. Like you go to the spot, you got your red cups, all these little TikTok events where they tell you little documentaries about the night. I think that this album is the ultimate representation of that. So like this, we had our drinks, me and my girlies, we got our outfits, whatever. Yeah. I think this is that album.
Yeah, and I mean that's again, we've talked about this a few times. I think we touched on it, but never gotten too deep into it. Pause again. Sorry.
Yo, crazy out here.
It's
early.
It's crazy. But yeah, no, that's what a lot of music listeners are looking for now. You know what I mean? Just something to throw on in the background and just kind of fit that kickback aesthetic in that mood. Not something to really sort of like, listen to and dissect and, like really sort of dig into it, but more so to like just kind of feel connected to on a very surface level. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you don't want that, son. You know what I'm saying? Like you coming home from a stressful day at work, you know what I'm saying? Niggas got kids, niggas got jobs, niggas got responsibilities, niggas got shit they gotta take care of, bro. Niggas might come home and might not want to dissect the science project. Niggas just might want to like dumb it down a little. That's why I get it.
Out, you know
what I'm saying? To catch a nice little vibe, bro. Like niggas don't want work on top of work.
I dig it,
bro.
I dig it. I dig it.
But overall, I think since we've done this podcast, this is the first Drake album solo, not the joint with 21, where we all could say like we didn't hate this project, and in some cases we might have liked it. You know what I mean? This is the most positive review we've ever given to our Drake album.
Probably. The one thing I definitely want to also point out is that I don't have an opinion on Gently, the joint with Bad Bunny, because as soon as I heard Drake do that terrible, fucking god awful Spanish accent at the beginning, I was like, all right, I'll take the UK shit, I'll take the fucking the island shit, the Caribbean shit. I am absolutely not tolerating that god awful Spanish accent. I switched it off immediately.
Bad Bunny's joint kind of goes. Bad Bunny's joint kind of goes.
When you try to be West Indian, it's the same shit. Like
it's hard for niggas to accept it, bro. But the Bad Bunny joint kind of goes. I can't hold you.
Listen,
in the realm of a location.
I'll fast
in the realm of a location.
But when I tell you I heard that and I said next, man, it's an hour and a half. I gotta get to these takes. I'm not wasting my time listening to this shit, man.
I'll be back.
Single hit that and Salsa Con Fuego gonna go crazy.
I fuck with that.
Man, I better not see them shoulders shaking to this shit in the spot, boy. Like,
yo,
I'm with Bad Bunny. I like his music a lot, bro. He's found that perfect niche of all little seasonings to make something dynamic. But before we get out of here, we gotta talk about this real quick. Nas again making news. The long lost double album is going to be for sale. Only 4,100 copies from what I read. Crazy. I guess, is it going to be on DSPs? I don't know, but I'd like to buy one.
Listen,
you did?
That's a fact.
Consider 4,000. The floor is yours.
4,099 copies, because one of them shits is mine already, bro. My money now. Just shut up and take my money, bro. Like the way, this is, to me personally, this is, and I know there's a lot of other people that also feel this way. I don't know how y'all feel about it at this table personally, but to me, this is one of the biggest, if not my personal biggest, what if in hip hop. What if Nas had dropped the original I Am Double album in '99 the way it was intended? The narrative would have been different. The trajectory would have been absolutely different. You know what I mean? Like from Illmatic to It Was Written to that double album. We've heard a lot of these songs since then on lost tapes, scattered on mixtapes, floating out there on the internet. Some months ago, I went through a whole Nas series, and fuck you to Twitter, because Twitter's trying to come at me now and taking down some of these videos that I posted in my Nas series. Yeah, they coming for me now. So
Elon, I thought Elon let everything live.
Yo, listen.
Is that Elon or Nas, son?
I don't know. I'm thinking
no,
Elon.
Not even on negative shit, but if he's
thinking Elon project shit up.
If those are gonna be songs for sale, then you can't just have them running out there no more. Like that, you know what I'm
saying? Elon let a lot of shit rock these days. I don't know if I'm blaming him.
It seems free on Twitter.
Elon letting all the porn go, bro. He can't front on music.
There you go.
It's what I'm saying, man.
Very true. But now back to the regularly scheduled program. We've heard a lot of these songs here and there on different projects and just kind of scattered out there. But to finally have this come out in one unit, in the order, hopefully they have the original track list laid out exactly how it was originally intended to be. You know what I mean? It's from the looks of it, it's only gonna be on vinyl for the moment. I'm copping straight up. I haven't copped the vinyl in a very, very long time, but this might get me back into my vinyl shit. Yeah, man, I can't tell you how excited and happy I am to see this, man, because like this is one of those things. This is one of those, personal memories that stick out in your head. It's like, yo, what if that original double album had really come out the way it was supposed to, instead of getting what we got and then Nostradamus? Shit might have been completely different. You know what I mean? Who knows? But to actually have it see the light of day is beautiful to me.
Deanie, any thoughts before we get out of here?
I think it's beautiful. I think it's the culmination of a great run that Nas has having. I feel like at some point in life, I feel like even the underdog, bro, all flowers essentially got to come back to you. You know what I'm saying? It just, life goes full circle. And at some point, you will be appreciated for your deeds. And I feel like Nas is everything's working for him right now. And I'm just happy to see it. This is music we had, like Sin broke it down elaborately, that we have been waiting for. Shout out to that shit being on every carpet. You know what I'm saying? For all those back in the days who don't know, with the rugs, man. When people used to sell bootleg CDs, they used to put them on rugs. And I'm telling you, like months before that shit came out, that shit was on every rug, Mo, from the Bronx to Manhattan, bro. Every rug. So I knew that shit was going to have a rough time. But the fact that it's coming out now, 2023, after he just did the six series, you know what I'm saying? Business is looking beautiful. Niggas is drinking Henny at a new time rate. Just
hip hop 50.
Hip hop 50. You know what I'm saying? Signing artists now. Like, just did the drink, not on tour with Wu. Just a culmination of a lot of beautiful shit, bro. Salute to Nas. Salute to just New York, my nigga. But I'm just really I'm happy, bro. I feel like
special. This
is Nas getting his due, bro. For all the people that feel like Nas never got his due, this is 10 times fold, just all right back at once, man. Salute.
Okay. Mace?
Salute to Nas. I can't, praise Drake in the last segment for giving the fans what they want and then not give Nas the same props. You know what I mean? Who's winning these days? Drake, Nas, Griselda, the niggas who's giving their fan bases exactly what they asking for, and not worried about the outside noise. hey, I didn't want to jump in the game, but you know how I go.
I mean, shout out to the bozos and cosplayers, but there's only one.
There can only be one. There can only. A bit anticlimactic. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? Because it's the vinyl copies, right? It's not going to DSPs, right? It's just the vinyl copies of the records. And, let's be honest, we all hip hop fans here. We all have the double album downloaded on our computers already. Like, let's be real here. We all do. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't, then you fucking wildin'. But, listen, you got to appreciate Nas doing his thing for the fans. You know what I mean? It's going to sell out.
No question.
Good luck, man. You know what I mean? I know you want the ones, but 4,100. Them shits, they're gonna be at record stores, like indie record stores. I think.
You said 4,100. Whoever gets 4016 is going to have a lifetime in there. That shit gonna be
numbered. If they're numbered, that's
what is it? Of course they gotta be numbered, bro.
Specific number.
Yeah, 41st side, Queens.
41st side of Queens, Vernon.
Yeah,
41. Yeah.
I made that up on the spot. Maybe y'all know better than me.
Good shit.
I'm buying it.
Mace, timing.
You know what I mean? But so shouts to Nas. Listen, this is just like Sin said, one of the great what ifs of the game. You know what I mean? So, of course, and people have been asking for it. We even see it in our comments. Nas should release this. Nas should release this. You know what I mean? So, shouts to his A&R team. Shouts to the street team. Like, you're listening to what people want. You know what I'm saying? Like, so shouts to Nas. Sin gonna cop. Sin gonna be running that crazy. I'm not sure I can be one of the people that can get to 4,100. So,
because if it's 4,100, are you buying it online? Do you got to go in person? Because the line's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do they let you buy more than one? Like,
right?
Nah, not if it's.
Here's what I'll say before we get the hell out of here. I think a key component of what we just witnessed with the Hit Boy series is like narrative shifting. like Nas is very, very much aware of everything. He's aware of all the narratives that are attached to his name, whether current or in the past. I think this would be culminating with 6. This would be the ultimate cherry on top to negate yet another narrative. One hot album every 10-year average, shit like that. What could have been with the double album that, you know what I mean, dropping 2 in 1 year. Now we're gonna change the conversation. Now I'm gonna give you this. So everything that you could have said about I didn't pick good beats, nah. I didn't have my keynote producer, nah. I did all of that now. Now I'm gonna take away that 99 conversation. Here's the album that you were supposed to get. Now imagine if you would have got that in 99. And now that becomes the conversation. Nas is finally, again, I'll keep repeating it, playing the game the way the game is meant to be played. Like Nas has always been the guy who stood on principle and morals and shit like that. And sometimes to his own detriment. You know, you want to be an honorable nigga. We always respect honor and valor as being men, more than anything else. But sometimes when you're honorable and you do these things the right way, sometimes you allow people to control your narratives for you because you stand true to your honor. Sometimes you got to play that game. And Nas has found that sweet spot where you can play the game and still not, you know, put yourself and your values in peril. And I think we see it play out in real time. I think it's fire.
Facts.
Then I thought I was passing it back to you. So you had something you wanted to say?
Oh, nah, man. It's just it's a beautiful thing. Like just the I know, you know, what May said, and I've heard a couple people also say this, that like, yeah, you know what I mean? We probably already have these songs, you know, put together somewhere. But just the symbolism of it. You know what I mean? The officialness of it, right? And to have it officially be a part of his discography, his resume, and his you know, his whole story. You know what I mean? Like Jaw was saying, he's controlling his story, he's controlling his narrative. It's a beautiful move, it's a beautiful thing. And I could see that after this Vital release, I could see it maybe making its way onto DSPs at some point. Maybe this is just like the initial rollout of it.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful of that, just to have it be more mobile. But yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. I love it. I love this.
Of course. All right, yo, listen, we appreciate you giving us your time. We need 300 to 350 likes on each and every one of these videos. You have to hit that like button. It keeps us in the algorithm. If y'all stingy with the likes, the algorithm don't play with us the way it's meant to be played. I'm telling you, I see y'all don't even get notified. Like the Rap Roundtable, we the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? The space don't want us, but we here and we winning championships. And the only way we keep winning these championships is if you keep hitting that like button. Let's get back on that 300 energy. As soon as you press play, hit like. It costs you nothing. Everything we ask you to do is free, unless you go on to roundtablemerch.com. You got to spend a little bread to get what it is. Give me the balance. Take us home, bro.
Yo, you know what it is, man. Sincere the Rap Snob. Job the point guard. Macito the voice. Dini the balance. The Rap Roundtable. The Vaunted Lunch Hour. You know what we do here? Hit the like. Roundtable merch. Share with a friend. It's the Rap Roundtable. We out of here. Boom.
Yes, sir.